YouTube, what's going on? America, what's going on? Hope you know Hawaii with an attack. They have evidence of a direct energy weapon. They have cars, 2 cars that they keep showing. These cars are away from everything, away from the burn area. They are sitting in a little field. Nothing else around them is burnt. And these 2 cars got so hot that the aluminum melted to liquefied state, and you can see it went off. The aluminum heads, the copper wire, everything melted. How does a car get that hot? It's just a wildfire, they said. Now they're talking about there's over 2,000 bodies sitting on ice. 2,000 bodies waiting to be identified. So this is a massacre. This ain't, it's just a pure out massacre. See, Charles Schwab, Bill Gates, and all these world elites that are sitting in their little mansions and their underground tunnels and bunkers and everything, they have actually said it where they said that they're going to depopulate the earth. Population control. They've been saying it. And also BlackRock and Vanguard and different other ones like that have actually said that they're going to force behavior via climate change. How are they going to do that? They're going to make it so it seems like climate change. Everything's gonna start burning, it's gonna start doing this, it's gonna start doing that, and whatever, flooding and all this other stuff. They're gonna force behavior. See, the behavior they're gonna force is not gonna be the behavior they want. Because the behavior they're gonna force is gonna be a rebellion against them. Lockheed Martin actually developed this direct energy weapon. So actuality. But if you look who owns all these businesses and these corporations and everything else, and if I say it, I'm going to be called anti-Semitic, or I hate Jews. I don't hate Jews, the Jewish people. I hate the Jewish families that are doing this. Family bloodlines that are ancestral bloodline. They've been committing incest into their own family for generations. See, to recognize the truth sometimes is actually evil and ugly. Rothschild himself actually said, the way we keep our wealth is we keep the love, our inside the family. We commit, it's just a known thing, they said. Wow. Okay. And then there's so many videos coming out where cops don't even know the laws. They think they have authority over us. They think they are the authority. So many videos coming out where they're being arrested and it's taken forever for them. They go commit assault and battery or murder or rape, because they're part of that blue line, they take forever to get them prosecuted. There's so many things I could talk about right now. These politicians and Biden and all these other, they have committed treason by taking these bribes and allowing China and the cartel is actually carrying guns across our border. That's an act of war. That's an act of war. This Maui Fire direct energy weapon is an act of war. I would be figuring out who was flying those jets that actually committed these acts of treason. Because when you attack, if you're in the military, Air Force, whatever, and you attack the American people, that's treason. You are committing treason. You are no longer respected in my book. as a military soldier. You're a domestic terrorist. Somebody paid you off. These chemtrails you see in the sky. If you're doing this, if you're a pilot that's doing this, if you're a doctor that's enforcing all these COVID BS lies, you're committing treason against the people. See, treason ain't just for the politicians. Treason is for anybody. See, that's where people get it wrong, where they say, oh, treason can only be committed by politicians. No. Anybody in government or anybody can commit treason. When you do domestic terrorism and everything else, that's treason. You got all these kids running wild. They had a big old brawl in Chicago, and they had shootings in Chicago of these kids. The kids are shooting each other in these big cities. And I know I'm going to sound bad for saying this, but you look what color they are. Look where it's happening. It's in the ghettos. It's in the black community. They're killing each other. So actuality, I mean, granted, there are white people that are going out and doing these too, but crime in these big cities and these ghettos and these black communities is outrageous. It's just beyond, because these governments, local governments, are basically letting you purge. Do you like the movie Purge, man? They're letting you purge and kill each other because they want population control. This is part of their plan. I mean, oh my goodness. 2,000 bodies. They said 183 of them washed up from one island to the next in Hawaii. There is so many videos out there. And yet people still choose to be dumb. They still choose to be ignorant of the situation of what's actually going on in America. They choose to be that way. If it doesn't affect me, I'm not going to pay attention to it. Well, sad part about it is it's going to affect you. Your food, gas, the price of everything, price to get a car, price to get anything. I mean, anything. It's going to affect you eventually. See, oh my gosh, this stuff is just getting so wild and so crazy right now. You can turn on YouTube and type in cop watching or police accountability or this Hawaiian fire or our gun rights, Second Amendment rights, and all this other stuff. And you see so many videos pop up about all this corruption. I guess they have a law school now that is teaching. This is a law school. It's one of the top in the nations too, I guess. I don't think it's the top anymore, because they're teaching the kids, which are going to be attorneys, that the Constitution needs to be replaced. No, it don't need to be replaced. No, if you're falling for this and you're studying to be an attorney, you're actually falling for their agenda that they're pushing. See, they want you to be dumb and ignorant about your human rights, which are called constitutional rights. This is all, like I've been saying it. This is all planned. All this stuff is falling in line to exactly what they said they were going to do. Bill Gates is talking about this COVID. You know, this new variant, COVID. Man, how many times do we have to hear about COVID? I'm so sick of hearing about COVID. I'm so sick of hearing about these vaccines. I'm sick of hearing about all this stuff. The fact that you want me to fall in line, the World Health Organization, through the UN, is trying to force this passport, this one world passport. You can't do anything without their permission. This is a part of the plan. See, a one world government, one world health, one world everything, you know. This is all part of their plan. they're wanting total control and total compliance. And like I said, they're going to force your behavior. They're going to try to force your behavior. They're going to try to force you into these 15-minute cities. They're going to try to force you into these smart cities, into these concentration camps that they have renamed and redubbed as a good thing when it's actually an evil thing. See, it's sad because these people are going to try to force you to live this lifestyle that you don't want. They're going to try to force their religion on you. And I'm going to go back to the Jewish thing. These Jewish people that are actually running these corporations, that own these corporations, you know, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and 27 other different family names that are out there. These are bloodlines, man. These are bloodlines of people. They're talking about Anunnaki. They're talking about all these gods and the Egyptian gods and the Greek gods and all this other stuff. And they're trying to bring back that bloodline of people. See, you're starting to see God's word play out before you. That's exactly what you're seeing. You're seeing Revelation. And Revelations is saying that this stuff is going to happen. You're seeing this. And if you're not paying attention, then you're choosing to be ignorant. You're choosing to say, hey, everything's perfect and wonderful where I live, in the ghettos, in the country, and everything's perfect, everything's great. But what they're not telling you is what they're actually doing is forcing your behavior with propaganda and with so-called climate change and so-called COVID and so-called law enforcement, weaponization of law enforcement and all this other stuff. They're weaponizing all this. So actuality, they're trying to force your behavior so you're nothing but a slave, and they're trying to force your behavior to be nothing but a mindless tool of them so they can destroy you. It's all there in plain sight. You just got to wake up. And to say you're woke, that's a joke. I'm not woke, I'm awake. I understand. This is the Great Awakening. See, this is where people are starting to turn back to God because atheism is dying. There's no use for atheism. Atheism is a part of communism and socialism and everything else because it denies God and it denies the power of God. So, actuality, atheism is dying. It's dying a slow death because nobody can argue it. They can't argue that God is not real. God is. I love that definition that one guy used. This one girl said, what if God is water? That means God is in us, around us, and He surrounds us 24/7. And He's non-binary, whatever you want to call Him. He takes whatever shape and form of the vessel that He's in. So actuality, God is. God is what? God is. God is everything. And He's allowing all this stuff to play out because people have turned their back against Him. Even in the Bible it says His own people, which are the Jewish people, will turn their back against Jesus Christ. It says it in the Bible plainly that they will turn their back. And they are doing just that because they're trying to force you to worship their way. The Muslim Islam people are trying to force you to worship their way because it's not a religion of God. It's a religion of demonic gods, multi-gods, and all this other stuff. And the Jewish people deny that Jesus is real and all this other stuff. To deny Jesus is to deny God. So actuality, you're denying God. Because God and Jesus are one and the same. Holy Spirit is a part of Jesus and part of God. So it's a Trinity. I'm telling you. If you're not paying attention, you need to start paying attention. And it doesn't matter how you defend your family and protect your family, either with education and truth and the Bible, or teach them how to fight and survive. I mean, that's the only other way. But even at that, if you fight and survive, eventually you're going to have to make a stand. You can't run forever. You can't hide like rats and roaches forever, because they're going to seek you out. So you're going to have to make a stand. So this takes all of us to make a stand. Make a stand today. If you're not waking up and to the Great Awakening. See, they kept saying the Great Reset. No, it's not the Great Reset. It's the Great Awakening. Because their Great Reset will never happen. God won't let it. See, God won't let their Great Reset happen. Their AI, God, their false God, won't take control, because it depends on power and electricity. It depends on what man has produced. And what man has produced is it always fails somewhere. It always falls apart somewhere. So their AI technology will fail, because God won't allow it to take control. See, they're living in this fairy tale world where they think they can do a purge, and they can do this Terminator movie Hollywood BS, and they think they can do all this. Well, no. The people are waking up. People are realizing what they're doing. Even in Hollywood with Whoopi Goldberg and all them, everybody's waking up. This is the Great Awakening. If you're not waking up and you're not standing together with the fellow people, fellow Americans, no matter who they are, white, black, Chinese, whatever, Mexican, whatever, if you're not standing with them and you're not fighting for your freedom and for your rights, your human rights, then you're going to be left behind, and we ain't going to look back at you. We're going to keep going, keep fighting. You need to wake up. This is the Great Awakening. You better wake up. God bless. Have a good day. Be safe. Keep it real. Keep it honest.